picks up his second shutout of the season. The Bruins have reeled off 6 consecutive wins on home ice.
So the Boston Bruins have had an interesting two-night performance. On Friday night, they played Columbus and got smoked. They did not look good. Columbus was the far better team. But tonight, in a back-to-back home and home, the Bruins played a fantastic game. Big news tidbit was Fabian Lysell getting his NHL debut. Gets called up from Providence. Apparently got the call around 1 p.m. today. So he goes up from Providence up to Boston. And he gets a chance on the third line with Frederic and Brazeau. And I have to say, Fabian Lysell, I thought, did pretty decent. I thought he was solid overall in that first goal that Brazeau would score for the Bruins. He was a big factor, even though he does not get a point on this play without Fabian Lysell's hustle and smart movement of the puck. That goal does not happen. But yeah, I thought he played well. Was there some mistakes? Yeah, but that's expected of a young player making his NHL debut. But I have to say, I really like the kid's speed. When he was hustling, you could really notice it. And I think this would be a nice player to have in the bottom six. Do I think he's going to go out there and be an instant point producer? Probably not, but why not give the kid a shot, an extended look? Because overall, I thought he played decent. And if you want young players to succeed, you can't just pull the hook after a couple mistakes. Give them a little bit more of an opportunity to succeed. But Bruins have faced off against Columbus, and like I said, Brazeau would start off the scoring, and that would be all the scoring in the first period. 1-0. Bruins played a steady game. We would go into the second period. Morgan Geekie. He has continued to improve. He's been red hot this month. He scores another goal, and this was a really great shot, great placement, and showcases that when Geekie is just feeling it, he's got a great shot and could be a consistent 20-plus goal guy. I mean, he has the tools there. Bruins go up 2-0. They would not be done. And a nice little play up to Pastrnak. Pastrnak on a breakaway. And yeah, no chance there for Tarasov. That was a brilliant finish by Pastrnak. And a stat that was shown up in this game that on the season he's 1 for 9 on breakaways. A very poor percentage compared to his usual around 26-27%. But Pastrnak, you can tell he doesn't look 100% himself. So there's something there. But hey, when he has the opportunity, he still has a great chance to score. He would get another breakaway, and he did beat Tarasov, but unfortunately he did not beat the post. Bruins would go into the third period up 3-0. And to kind of finish off the scoring for the night, Koepke with a nice shot himself. Hopefully this kind of gets him going. I would say there was some really good shooting tonight by the Bruins. You had Geekie get another goal. Koepke, you're hoping this kind of allows him to feel a bit more confidence because early in the season he was looking really good. He gets his, 6th of the season, and all in all, a great team effort. A few key moments in this game was a double minor that unfortunately went against the Bruins that they had to kill off. Kaslik was battling on the boards, stick rode up, hit, I believe, was it Corrali right in the lip, was bleeding, so like in the hockey, like real men, if you're bleeding, it's 2. It's extra 2 minutes. The only sport that does that type of penalty system. So 4-minute power play, but the Bruins were brilliant in it. They killed it off fantastically. I don't think even Swayman faced a shot in that whole penalty kill. If any shot, maybe just one, but they were just brilliant. The penalty kill was so good. It was a marvel to watch. Jeremy Swayman gets his second shutout of the season. Swayman has had a rough year. And I wouldn't say he made a bunch of crazy saves, but he made the saves he's supposed to make. And I'm hoping, like most Bruins fans, this is the kind of the building block of him starting to play a little bit more consistent and kind of get red hot. If you could see Swayman go on an Ullmark run, that would be absolutely fantastic. But if Swayman can just play good and make the saves he's supposed to make, the Bruins can be a very solid and very hard team to play against. It's a bit frustrating because it's a Jekyll and Hyde team this year. Some nights you're like, wow, like what the hell am I watching? And other nights you're like, wow, this team looks absolutely brilliant. Because when they beat the Washington Capitals, you're like, man, that's a really good hockey team. They just shut down defensively. And then in the next game against Columbus on Friday night where they just get lit up like crazy, And then tonight they just shut down Columbus. I think the Bruins are a better team than what we saw on Friday night. I think they're closer to what we saw tonight than they are to what we saw last night. And for whatever reason, the Blue Jackets have the Bruins numbers. They finally got a win tonight. But they're 1-2 against the Blue Jackets on the season. Might be just one of those matchups that just does not work for the Bruins. And on a side note, I would have to say, Marchenko for the Blue Jackets, well, he's probably not a favorite for Bruins fans right now. I mean, I gotta say, he's got a hell of a shot. Very talented player. And I think the Blue Jackets have a very, very bright future with all the young players they have at the NHL level. Fantilli, Ken Johnson, hoping he can kind of become something. I think the Jackets are in a situation here in the next few years that they can definitely be a contender. And I know this is bringing in a different story into the video, but I'll talk about it. I know some Jackets fans and like Werenski from the Blue Jackets would piss what Line said about being in a losing culture and people just accepting it. But I think he was kind of right. I think bringing in that new GM who even said the same thing, that they're just losing became acceptable in the Columbus Blue Jacket culture. I think with the right guy at the helm, the Jackets have the talent to be a very good team in the next few years, at least in my opinion. But this was overall a very good performance by the Bruins. Great penalty kill, extremely good penalty kill, and you're starting to see players come alive that you really just like to see. And a quick little side note, I will say, Brazeau, isn't he just a great story? Guy that was in the AHL, ECHL, was it his 8th goal of the season? It's kind of cool to see these underdogs get a chance at the highest level and just flourish, in my opinion. But I'd like to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who impressed you the most in this game? Bruins fans, what did you think of this game? What do you think of the team overall? And do you think Fabian Lysell should get an extended look at the NHL level? Do you think he has allowed himself to get more than one game? Let me know your thoughts. I'm Captain Paul. See you in the next one.